Hey guys, ComicMars here. I thought I'd just do a quick throw video. I've got my mate in front of me on the 2015 R1 and he's going to do a guest review for us. So I can't legally ride it because I'm on my learners, so I can't do the review, which is very sad because I want nothing more than to throw a leg over that machine and see what it's got. But I've only been riding for 3 months, so I'd probably die anyway. So anyway, I'll throw to the video. Cheers guys. Hello people. I'm currently riding down on the 2015 R1. That's 1000cc for those who are new to the game. This one's currently got 200 horsepower. I'm probably using 2 horsepower of it. Not sure if you can see the dash. I'm sure you can now. Very, very easy to read. I'm currently in D mode. Power setting 4, traction control 3, and the slide control on 3. I rode to work the other day in A mode, not for commuting. I repeat, not for commuting. I have ridden this bike on the track and on the road. Me personally, if you're not doing track days, I wouldn't buy one for the road. Yeah, that's me. That's my choice. But
so, how many modes does it have?
It's got A, B, C, and D.
What are the differences?
Basically, your throttle response, but you can actually go into the dash and change each mode setting. So they come standard from the factory in your A, B, C, D with your different power, traction, and slide control. You can then go into the dash and change the settings for each mode. So as I said, I've got mine set on power 4 at the moment. 1 is crazy. You can be in 3rd gear and you're going around everywhere in 1st gear if you get off the throttle a little bit. Really torquey, really snatchy. I've only been riding for about just over a year. And yeah, probably bad choice to try A mode in traffic, but here we are.
So what does the dash have? Does it have like fuel gauge, shift light, all that sort of shit?
So at the moment, it's showing me what mode and power settings and everything I've got. It's showing me that I got the quick shift on, which is amazing. It shows me that I have lift control on. At the moment in the setting I'm in, it shows me the time, how hard I'm pulling the front brake, as well as yaw control, so how far forward the weight is or back, what gear I'm in, and the speed with the revs. At the moment I'm showing the outside temperature and the bike temperature. Now, on the right hand side I have a little thumb wheel. If you press and hold the thumb wheel, you can go into the settings. You can change the dash to track mode. So you can record your lap times, everything like that, the brightness, turn the shift light on and off, a whole bunch of settings in there. That's where you change your settings for your modes. You can change your modes on the fly, the ones that are already preset, as in A, B, C and D. You just have to be off the throttle and clutch in and going under a certain speed. So basically traffic lights. If I roll the thumb wheel, it brings up my current trip and my current fuel consumption, which is currently 6.9 litres per 100. Now it's 7.3. If I roll again, it shows me the odometer and my fuel economy. My fuel economy is 14.3. So you're looking at about 200 Ks per tank for a 14 litre tank, depending on how much you want to twist the wrist and go grey quick. If I roll again, I've got my fuel average and my current fuel. So currently I'm 6.4 litres per 100, so depending on how you're riding, that definitely does change.
Okay. So when you're in like D mode, does it still have the 200 horses?
It does. The main difference is the throttle, the butterfly response. The best way to explain it, which was explained to me, is if you're in A mode, it's like Marquez, Rossi, Lorenzo on the bike. They just get on and throttle hard. go hard all the time, no ifs, no buts. D mode is like a brand new person getting on a bike and they're a little bit slower, not as harsh on the throttle. It slows that response down so it's not as twitchy, not as snatchy, snatch. And so you know, yeah,
If you were to compare it to like a carby, it basically slows the butterflies down.
yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I can pretty much any speed limit in Australia cruise with ease at 110 in first gear. It does have 6. The only time you'd use 6 is if you're just, you know, cruising at 110 and not trying to do anything stupid. In all the gears in A mode, it doesn't matter when you twist the throttle, you're going.
Yeah, okay.
Lift control works amazing. It only lets it get up to a certain point and then slowly brings it back down. Slide control, it lets the bike slide, but it controls your slide, so it can't go past a certain part. On the track day, there was one of our, like a good rider there, he was saying if it starts sliding, just to keep throttling on, and the bike will bring it back to where it needs to be at the point in time it needs to be there. Traction control I've only got on 3 because the roads are pretty dry. You go all the way up to, from traction control 0 to traction control 7. It's got ABS. Luckily I don't use ABS, well not yet anyway.
You'd hope that ABS isn't a feature that you use all the time.
Sorry?
You'd hope that ABS is a feature that you're not using all the time.
Yeah.
It covers the gauges and all of the settings. It's like a fucking ECU basically.
It is. It's got 2 computers on it. It's got the main computer that receives all the data. So no matter where your bike is, it knows where it is and what it needs to do to help correct you. You've got to be doing something pretty stupid to come off this bike. I have had the luxury of riding the R1M, which is the top-notch model. There's only 120 brought into the country, and they sold out before they were released.
We're in Australia for anybody that's not sure.
Yes, Australia, the great country of Australia. How you going, mate?
Roads, fucking brilliant roads.
So you got on the main difference on the M, stock standard, you have electronic suspension and a GPS unit that comes in your rear cowl. You can buy that for the standard model, but the main advantage of having it on the M is you can automatically adjust your suspension to your riding. If it thinks you need a bit more cushion or something somewhere in the corner while you're riding, it will adjust it and you won't even know.
Yeah, okay.
The GPS unit has an app for an Android or Apple, well basically a smart tablet phone, smart anything, that you can then, the dash settings you have on the bike you can bring up in this app. You can change everything. You can see your speeds, your cornering, your lean angle, anything. You can preset settings that automatically adjust on the bike from the app. What else? If you're taking a corner and you're like, I was good everywhere else around the track, but I didn't feel comfortable on that one, you can have a look what the bike was doing and adjust the settings to help you get better at that corner. Save it, it adjusts on your bike, and then when you get to that corner again, it will know what you want to do and adjust itself before you get there.
Like, that's pretty impressive. It's basically a fucking race computer.
So I could be going around this corner and doing something stupid. Before I could even blink or breathe, the bike would have adjusted and made me come out the other end nice and safe and upright.
Yeah, nice.
It is 30 grand plus on roads, but the whole thing's carbon, hand polished tank, hand polished swing arm, GPS unit. It's one hell of a machine.
Yeah, so how much is the standard R1?
The standard R1 I believe is about 25 grand on road, I believe, off the top of my head.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's off the top of my head.
So all the electronics and all that
I'm 6'2", so I'm very comfortable. Being a super sport, obviously you're leant right over. It's not too bad. My wrists do get sore, but you know, mainly the roads I've ridden on this so far is straight. At the track day it was good. You know, I came into a corner thinking I'm not going to make this, and the bike is so light. It is 200 kilos wet, but it's so light and narrow that it handles like a dream. It makes it feel effortless because no matter what you do, you got the electronics there to help you and keep you in a good spot. Dash is easy to see. Mirrors aren't the best. You can see. If you want a real good look, you got to kind of move your arm just a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty much like every bike these days.
If I want to look over my shoulder or check right into my blind spot, I'll probably have to kind of turn a bit of my body, but that could just be because I'm not used to the riding position of the Super Sport. I've ridden a lot of MT-07s, MT-09s, FZ6R, a whole bunch of other bikes, but I've never really ridden a Super Sport, so the position is very, very new to me. So it's just getting used to that. What else can I say?
So when you, because I mean we took it through Picton the other day, which is all winding stuff. So obviously that's a hell of a lot better than commuting.
Yeah, it's definitely a cornering bike, twisty bike, fun bike. I don't see it as a commuter bike. I've got other people I work with that would commute on it because that's what they're used to. I'm a fan of D mode at the moment because of mainly all I've been doing is commuting. A mode's amazing, just the power. Quick shift is one of the greatest things ever invented, I feel. So quick shift is standard. So basically anything above 5,000 RPM, you stay on the throttle, leave the clutch alone and just click up the gears. It changes faster than what you could ever imagine. You cannot feel it change. It's like driving an automatic really, except you're clicking the gear lever. The aerodynamics on this bike make you feel, well, you feel from what you're used to, you're going a lot faster than what you actually think you are. Where 100 feels like 60 because of the wind, you're just not getting any wind at all. Great positioning. And then if I tuck in like this, you get absolutely nothing at all. It's insane. It's definitely like riding Valentino Rossi's or Jorge Lorenzo's bike, but on the road. It really is. I haven't ridden their bike, but if I could ride anything close to it, this would definitely be it.
So basically it's completely impractical but fucking amazing.
Yes. For me to buy this bike, one, I'd need the money, but two, I would have to say at a minimum the ratio would have to be 70-30, 70% track day, 30% road.
Yeah.
Anything less than that, I feel I could spend that 25 grand on something else. I really do.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, if you're a weekend warrior and all you're doing is going out and hitting twisties every weekend, it would be a pretty good option.
It would be a great option. This is going to be the first time I've taken it through the Nasho, so it will be an interesting experience. Last time we went through there, on both days it was basically raining in there. Puddles everywhere, oil everywhere, moss everywhere. So if that's there, I don't think I'm going to go as quick as I did on the 09, but I have the technology and the electronics to make me fast through there.
But again, both of us come from a dirt bike background, so the MT-09 is very much a street fighter, dirt bike sort of position.
It is.
That's what we're comfortable with.
Very, very much so. I will say, reversing yourself into a car park, shit. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to the Super Sport, but if you're doing a tight turn into a car park moving backwards, there's nowhere for your hands to go.
Yeah, I must admit, guys, I tried to park next to him, and the turning circle at slow, pushing speed is pretty dismal. But that's not what it's for. It's not meant for that sort of stuff.
No. So I might take off a little bit here, maybe here, and just do one shift, quick shift, see if you can just see that there's no jolt, no slack, no nothing. You lose track of how fast you're going when you quick shift because there's no slow down. So shift, shift, shift. It's insane. I didn't need a shift. I was only at $5,500 for all those gears, but it's there.
How many just with you?
It has really nice. It's got a nice note stock. It is quiet. Under throttle you can hear it, and it purrs amazingly. I haven't heard it personally with an exhaust, but from what I've heard, it's pretty ballsy.
Yeah, awesome.
The only downside to the new exhaust, it is down next to the swing arm like most bikes. In winter, the 2014 R1 was amazing because you had exhaust under your seat, which kept you warm. It is currently 3 degrees, but the bike temperature is 75. Not in traffic, the highest I've seen it go is about 80, which is basically ideal for the bike.
Yeah, awesome.
So it doesn't get much over 80 unless you're in traffic. I did say it gets up to 101, but as I said, it's not made for commuting. It's basically been made with a sense for track and track only. One thing I forgot to tell you guys, saves you guys some typing in case you were wondering. The suspension is good. For me, it's set up kind of perfect at the moment. You do have preload tension and like your comp adjustments on the standard R1 on the top of your forks, which is all Allen key adjustable, and a spanner for one of them, which is the preload. The rear shock, I believe there's only 1 or 2 little bits of adjustment, but that's it. Basically, for my weight at the moment, I'm down to 107 from 114. Go me. It's comfortable. It absorbs a lot of the bumps. It's basically the big ones that disturb a car that you really feel. Like you get your little bumps here and there, but you don't feel it through your back. You can quite comfortably ride for a while without a kidney belt or anything like that. It's just the long rides that you'll struggle, depending on what you've come from.
That's just on your wrist, though. Your ass is fine.
My ass is fine as.
I mean, that's a matter of opinion.
That feels good too. It definitely doesn't feel like you're being in jail once you get off the bike. No offense to people that have been in there. I understand things happen. They're out of your control, but some bikes you get on, like the KTM 390 RC, that ComicMars did a review on that. It was a post review, so it wasn't on the bike, but it was better sitting on cold concrete getting hemorrhoids than sitting on that bike for a commute.
It really was. It was, again, it's sort of similar. I mean, completely different categories, but the RC390 was more of a track bike than a road bike.
Definitely a track bike. I had the advantage of riding that around the track. Amazing. On the road, no.
Yeah, that's what I figured it would be.
One thing this does do when you're giving it a bit of a squirt within legal requirements, when your revs go up, they turn green when it's optimum shifting. From, I think it's about 7 grand, they're green. When you do shift, whether it's clutch or quick shift, the line stays, like there's a little red line when your revs go down from where you last shifted, and stays there until you don't shift again, or you overtake it with your new revs.
Okay, so you can see your last revs and gear change.
Yes, that's if you've got time to look down. You've also got launch control. I haven't used this because at our track day we basically get on the track from a rolling position. We didn't do any starts. I don't want to.
Drag events and stuff like that for people that are keen.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to try launch control because knowing my luck, there must there's probably a button you got to push, which there probably isn't, and I'll dump the clutch and the bike will cartwheel and I won't go anywhere.
Well, I thought lift control's supposed to stop that.
It does, but if you've got your revs right up and you dump the clutch, like,
Yeah, I suppose there's only so much a computer can do against 200 horses.
yeah.
Truck, man, truck.
Ah! You guys in the video probably saw that and you didn't tell me. So yeah, that's me.
So yeah, thanks, Drew, man. Thanks for the guest review. That's awesome.
Thanks
I'm
for
not legally allowed to ride it, so someone's got to do it.
thanks for listening to me, putting up with me, and I may see you in the not too distant future.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Ciao.